Yes, we're back again with Let's Talk Podcast, The Better Black Life, and we have another question that we're trying to answer. And that question is going to be why some women end up unmarried and lonely, and we want to break that answer down scientifically. So, don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, we're back again, and I'm going to ask you a question, Brother Jarvis. You there with me, Brother Jarvis?
Yes, sir.
Why, well, in your opinion, why are some women, particularly black women, end up unmarried and lonely? I'm gonna give a scientific answer, but you go ahead and lay it on them. What you think?
The lonely part, I don't know about. The older I get, sometimes I don't know. Meaning, when I say I don't know, you talk to some women, meaning black women.
Uh-huh.
And the more you talk to them and ask them questions like, don't you want a man? Don't you want to get? I don't even say that. I don't use the term get married anymore. Don't you want a boyfriend? Don't you want a man? Most of them say yeah, but at the same time they saying yeah, but I don't want the headache.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean by headache? I don't want the drama. I don't want the baby mama drama. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want to struggle. And it's like, are you crazy? I mean, God ordained struggle. In other words, I don't care what you do, who you with, what you endeavor, what you trying to do. There's struggle in everything.
Right.
We got here through struggle.
Right.
For the sperm to get to the egg, the other million of them got burnt off. Only one of them made it.
And he had to struggle.
It's always a struggle.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, there's a struggle, but I don't know who put this in their head. I think I do. The Kardashians. The Kardashians really got y'all believing.
I you know what? They are guilty for some stuff, but I think it goes a little back farther than the Kardashians, though, man.
To me, they are the apex, man. I mean, you really have little black girls.
Yeah.
Little black girls really look up to the Kardashians, and it's sad. It's really, really sad. That's not life.
Yeah.
That's not how it is.
Yeah.
99% of you're not going to meet a ball player.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. That's a fantasy. 99% of y'all are not going to do it. I know a couple Cinderella stories. And I mean, when I say a couple, literally 2 or 3.
Right.
Women that I know of that one met a ball player, one met a sports agent,
right.
One, areas or fields where the black man, he does make a lot of money. Right. But there's so few of us that make that do that. Maybe 2%, from what I understand, maybe.
Right.
Of all black men that are in that field, meaning being an agent or a player or some kind of business in that make a lot of money at the same time. Because everybody, just because you're a ball player doesn't mean you necessarily make a lot of money.
Right.
So, again, why does she end up not married or lonely? The lonely part, you kind of knock off. Because I know sisters who can have a man, but you literally don't want him because you don't want the quote unquote headache.
Uh-huh.
And men don't. I said, but men don't talk like that. It's not as if having a woman or being with a woman it neglects you with the headache.
Uh-huh.
But men don't talk like that. Black men don't, that I know of.
Right.
So, and one, again, it's the fairy tale, I believe. I call it the Kardashian syndrome. It's the fairy tale outlook. You're not going to meet a man like that.
Yeah.
You're not going to meet him. And I've often said it so many times, what you think, or what you like It's normally not good for you.
Well,
what you need or what God is trying to give you, you don't want.
Well, I agree with that, and I would like to, and I'll add this to it. I think that a lot of them are, like you said, misled, and they have a false or a delusional understanding of what is what they are bringing to the table. I think a lot of times, a lot of women don't understand that they think because they feel like they look good that that is all they need to bring to the table, and that unfortunately uh puts them in a bad situation when the man is actually doing the actual assessment of her value to his life, and he says that, well, you look good, but all these other women look good too. Or sometimes a woman don't do sometimes these women don't do accurate assessment of themselves, and they think just because they got a nice weave and got eyelashes and whatever else they got going on, they feel like they're at a certain level of beauty that, it's like I was saying before, who can resist me? And I got this big butt, I got this big breast, I got this nice weave, who can resist me? And you don't realize that as you get older, the luster kind of wears off. And see, I think what happens is a lot of them play musical chairs, but they just play a little too long. And now they say, I know I'm gonna go after a dude making six figures. I've been dating these Dirty Dan type dudes. I'm gonna go after a 6-figure cat. That's what I'm gonna go after. But not realizing what you're asking a 6-figure dude. What you're asking a dude that is, a lot of times these guys are self-made or self-driven. You're asking that person to say, oh, you're telling them, I want you to be a stepfather to my children. And those kind of guys don't really want to step into that role. And that's a deal. You're asking them to come last because your children are going to come first to you, but you want to come first to him. Why would he take that deal? So I think,
and not to interrupt you, but a lot of women would be offended by telling her that. And it's like, the man does come first. But to a woman, my children. If you feel that way, you're right. You stay with them.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize his value. Especially the black woman. You don't realize who he is.
Right.
I know he's been reduced to nothing. I know he has. But that's not who he is.
Right.
But please, brother, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to throw that in.
Bro, no.
Because it's always, my children come first. Oh, my babies. Oh, my. You right. They are your babies. You right.
Yeah.
Even when they're his biological children, they're your babies. They're his children. Yeah. They're your babies. But he has value.
Yeah.
He is the head.
Yeah.
Like I heard a brother told me, he is so right. I use it all the time. You are his helpmate.
Yeah.
He's not yours.
Right.
So again, it goes back to the question before. Education. You have to be retaught. You have to be retrained. Because you really don't think the black man, you really don't think he ain't nothing. You really don't.
Right.
And that's the big part. That's why you can walk around and talk, I don't need no man. You're a headache. That's why you talk like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's I think all that was learned. I think that was it was really learned. I think it was picked up off of the white women's lib movement. I think it was a win for them in the job market, it was a huge win for them in the job market, but it was a disaster for their relationships. It was a disaster for their relationships, and in my opinion, that's why white men don't even. The white woman is not the first, second, third choice anymore. She might be in there somewhere, but she definitely ain't. The first, second, and third, all three choices. You know what I mean? Because what the women's lib situation did to the white people's relationships, as far as the economical damage to the men, the really the what's the word I want to say, hold up, or the robbery, or the it's just so it's so uneven, it's so unmatched, unfair. It's hard to suggest to get married to somebody in this day and age, because look what you walking somebody into. If it go bad, you ain't gonna be able to just say, okay, I'm gonna go my way, you gonna go your way. You ain't gonna be able to do that. This woman can take half of everything you got, and you have to pay her for indefinitely.
Brother,
you know what I mean?
Brother, it's gotten so bad. They don't think. If you talk to the black woman, because it ain't just a white woman. If you talk to the black woman, she believes I deserve half of that.
Right.
She believes that.
Right.
And will go to court and walk in there like, I should get, that's mine. All that, you ain't even.
Right.
Juanita Jordan never dunked one basketball.
Right.
She never dunked one basketball. But Juanita Jordan walked away. Michael Jordan did good.
Right.
With $175 million, that was good for what he was really worth.
Yeah.
He did good.
Yeah.
He had a good lawyer, man.
Yeah.
But in Juanita's mind, I deserve that.
Yeah.
Juanita, you ain't been to one practice.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. We was taught, me and you, when you let a woman go, you give her a good send off. You give her a good send off. You don't just, you're not gonna be with her and she got your babies. I mean, they're still your babies. They're still the mother of your children. Not to say you got to give her half of everything, but you got to make sure that they're going to be okay.
They're taken care of.
Yeah, exactly. You should make sure that they're going to be okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're going to be okay, right? So,
what man in his right mind is going to punish the mother despite the child? I mean,
right.
No man. No man in his rightful mind is going to do that.
But the problem that I think you and I both are having is the disparity when it just gets ridiculous. And somebody says, I need $90,000 a month to raise this child. Or I need $150,000 a month to raise this child. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Or, when they say I need half of, like, I want to use her, but I mean, I'll use her. Jeff Bezos' wife. Shit got $37 billion. I mean, $37 billion, bro. That's crazy. But she was one of the people that was helping him when Amazon was in his garage, right? She was working the computers and stuff when Amazon was just when they were just doing books, right? They were just sending books to people. And, they built it into what it is today. So she could come in and say, hey, I was working there. I helped build that. But the average woman, you're right, they ain't dunking no basketballs. They ain't running. They ain't getting hit on the way to kind of get a touchdown and nothing like that, right? But it should be in proportion to their needs of the child and then their living needs. It shouldn't be, I just deserve half because I was in this marriage for 2 or 3 years. That's crazy. And it's hard to say to somebody, yeah, go run and jump in that situation. When you got a 25% chance of lasting more than 7 years in a marriage, according to the statistics. You got 27% I mean 25%, because 75% of marriages end in divorce, right? First marriages end in divorce. So you got 25% chance of going ahead, right? That's bananas. That's bananas. It's like sending somebody across the war lines and saying, "Man, you got 25% chance of making it. Go ahead and go." You know, and then that person don't even have to go. Hey, we don't have to go. We got a drone now. Yeah, but you should just go anyway, because that's what we've been doing. See, I think we got to come up. We got to come into different um, a different kind of procedure or way to go about coming into marriage than doing it like
Brother,
this.
you got women getting a divorce based upon, you know what? I just ain't happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten so silly. That's not even the ground, Bible and or Quran.
Well, they really don't know what
happy.
they're getting involved with, man. And see, like what I'm saying. See, that's why you were saying, man, Clint, why you push all the age all the way back? Because you don't really know what you're getting into, man. You really don't know what you're getting into when you're in your 20s and you're talking about marrying somebody. You don't have the vision. You can't see 20 years down the line that this person, am I going to be, see, when you marry a person, you should look at them and say, not at their best. You should flip it and say, can I be with this person when they at their worst? Can I be with this person when they pick up some weight? Can I be with this person when they not as attractive as they are now? Can I be with this person when they ain't cooking me nothing? When they ain't doing this, when they ain't doing that? Can I be with them? Am I going to still be able to be with this person still and try to and try to turn it around? See, that's how you know. That's what you want to do when you're trying to thinking about marrying somebody. You don't want to marry them because you looking at the best they got. Anybody can be with somebody when their best shoes are on, their best clothes are on.
Yeah.
It's when they take all that off, and they got that chili stain on their shirt.
Yeah.
Guys, can you handle that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But these young brothers, ain't nobody teaching them that, man. They looking at everybody and dressed up, looking real nice, smelling real nice, and thinking, hey, you know what? Every day gonna be like this.
Yeah.
And that's not the reality of it, man.
No, what you don't realize is it was on a different world when Whitley and Dwayne Wayne got married.
Right.
Whitley would jump up in the morning before he wake up, run in the bathroom, put her makeup on, and then jump back in the bed.
Right.
He's thinking he's waking up to a beauty queen.
Right.
Oh, man, that ain't her.
That ain't her. Yeah.
Like you said, you want to see her when she first wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Wake up before her and then look at her.
Yeah.
And then go from there. That's when you want to see her.
Or roll her over at 3 a.m. Roll her over at 3 a.m. and take a look at her, look into her face at that point, and then decide, oh, okay, I can handle this.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's. But see, like I said, man, nobody's teaching the young brothers this stuff, and the sisters, they're not. They're it's a constant. What's that thing when they put the pea under the little coconut? They put the pea under there and they move it around. It's the 3-card money, or.
Oh yeah.
It's a constant. They're constantly moving it, and they say pick which one. You pick which one you think the pearl is under, and you lift it up, and it's not that one. See, you never know what's going on,
right?
Because nobody's teaching you how to look for these things. But that exacerbates the whole breaking up thing. But so the brothers don't know, and then the brothers aren't learning how to, long-term relationships, man. That takes strength, it takes heart, it takes courage, it takes will. Like you said, you can't just, girl, I don't like the fact you ain't wash no dishes. I'm out. You can't just leave because you got pissed off. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to stick
Right.
in there. You got to hang. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what long-term relationships, especially a marriage, is bringing to the table. Now,
Right.
our question is, well, since we know that that's how these long-term relationships are breaking up because there's just no training on either side. Well, I would say no, but there's very limited training on either side.
Very.
How? So now this is the part where that we asking a question today. See, because the sisters, what they do is they'll hit them. They will go back. They'll take some time to get themselves together. Meaning that they might hit the gym or whatever, and then they hit the market. They go back out on the market. Maybe one child, maybe two children, maybe even three or four from some other cat, right? But they will go out there thinking, hey, I'm just going to get me a guy, a six-figure man. And we're using the term six-figure man loosely as a guy that has a high enough income where she don't feel like she would have to work. Okay,
Right.
that's my definition right now. Okay, so
Right.
so how do she plan on doing this? Well, they make a lot of mistakes by going places that six-figure men don't hang out. Six-figure dudes don't hang out at the club. Six-figure dudes are not at the bar. Well, they might be at a lounge, but they're definitely not at them little dive bars where Negroes that fight and Dirty Dan type dudes hang out, right?
Right.
Because they don't want no drama. They got enough drama trying to make their life work. They don't need no more drama. So they hanging out at nice, quiet places, libraries, maybe, I don't know, maybe art museums or stuff like that, right?
Very successful men are always on the move.
Right. They're not going to be no place where Negroes is hanging out. When I say Negroes, I'm talking about, black people that's, got a mentality like, they gonna fight at the drop of a hat or whatever. They don't want to deal with that, right? So, like you said, they on the move. Now, these women, unfortunately, don't understand that those dudes at the golf course or they have places like that. So anyway, these women don't understand that, and even the ones that do, here's where they making a mistake, in my opinion. They have, they're not understanding the relationship between their sexual market value, their true sexual market value. Because, see, they think they got a sexual market value that's at one value. But men, at a certain point, especially if you have children are an absolute torpedo to your sexual market value, at least for women. I don't know about men because women value different things as far as what they're looking for in a relationship, what they're willing to deal with. But as far as men, the things that men value, children by another man is a torpedo to sexual market value. But they have a misunderstanding about the sexual market value, and then how it relates to men at different points in their lives. So a young man, that's all he's looking for is your sexual market value. You look hot, let's go. Away we go. You know what I mean? He ain't even trying to see your character, right?
Yeah, he doesn't even factor in your children at all either. They're not his children. That's how he sees it.
Yeah,
They're
right?
mine.
They ain't mine, and I can still hit it, right? Okay, cool. You know what I mean? As long as they ain't getting in the way of me hitting it, I'm good, right? But an older cat, let's say a guy like that in his 20s or 30s might be looking at it like that. Maybe a cat coming up closer to his 40s, maybe 35, 40 years old. Now he's like, He been there, he done that. Now he's like, man, I need more, because just because this chick looks good, I need more than that. So now he starts looking at her. There's two values that I'm going to throw out there, Brother Jarvis. Sexual market value, right? Of course, the sexual market value is the value or sexual value that men get. We all, as men, we will always, as soon as we see a woman, we give her a sexual score. Period, right? I mean, you can't help yourself. You're going to give somebody a sexual score as soon as you see them.
You really can't. And within 5 minutes, you really can't help it.
5 minutes, 5 seconds, 2 seconds. Within 2 seconds, you're going to give her a score. Boom.
Right.
The score is, either it's either over the line or under the line, right? So, you give them a sexual market value, right? So now for each man, it's a little different, but pretty much that's the score at which we would say, I'm willing to even open a door to a relationship or exploring getting into a relationship with you, because I'm sexually attracted to you, right? But there's another value, and that's the long-term relationship value. Once you get a certain age, that value is important. See, and when you're young, that value ain't important. A long-term relationship to a 23-year-old dude is 6 months. That's a long-term relationship, right? I was with her for almost a year. Oh. But in a long-term relationship value is stuff that you looking at, okay, now I got to score you on other stuff, not just your looks, but I got to score you on other stuff. Character, your attitude, femininity, child nurturing, childbearing. This chick compliment my personality. And for the sisterhood, man, this is one that's really hard for them. It's really hard. Knowing when to stand down, man. Knowing when to say, okay, I gotta step off right here. This is not gonna work. You know what I mean? Brother Jarvis, you there?
Yes, sir. Okay. I'm waiting for an example.
Okay. So an example is when you're a man in your 20s, like I said, in your 20s, this long-term relationship value, that doesn't mean anything to you. You're not really, because you feel like, hey, I can change this girl. With my training, I'm so awesome. We all thought this about ourselves. I'm so awesome.
Yeah.
With my training, I can, and the training I got, I could turn this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ain't got to worry about her bad attitude and the way she treat wait staff. Man, one of the worst things I ever seen or been out with someone and seen is someone mistreat the wait staff, man. That to me is a big red flag, but I'll get into that later. But anyway, so
mistreat what? I'm sorry.
Waiting staff, like a waiter or a waitress.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They just trip on the waiter and waitress, like Poetic Justice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
like they just trip on the people, right? And you're like, what? What? I didn't bring you here for this. They just like, you know what I mean? Just like, you know what I mean? But anyway, so that's a guy in his 20s. A guy probably around in 35. Now he's saying, I've been there and done that. I've been in these little relationships. I've done all that. So now I need more. So I need to check out her lifestyle. I need to check out how she is with children. Can she have more children? Can she have one of my children? Is she a good fit for me spiritually? Is she a good fit for me does she compliment my personality? You know what I mean? And, can this chick, as strong as she is she strong enough to stand down when it's time for her as a woman to stand down? See, that's
Right.
one thing that's not being taught out here is how to as a woman when to stand down. See, it's a time to be a boss, and then it's a time to stand down. It's a time to get out the men's way and let two men handle what they got to handle.
Right.
Instead of stepping in there and being, somebody's mama and stepping in I'm gonna fight your fight for you because I love you, or I'm gonna fight your fight with you because I ain't gonna let nobody do nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And unfortunately,
Allowing a man to be a man.
Exactly. But I think the diet that they have, many of them, produces a lot of testosterone, and they don't realize that they have so much testosterone. It's hard for them to stand down when it's time to stand down, and they want to buck up. Then when they get treated like a man, then they say, "How can you treat me how can you do me like that? Because I'm a woman."
Yeah.
So it's just a scrambled thing. But anyway,
that's a whole another subject is where you just went into. We're not going to that, but that goes back to slavery. She was forced to be the man and the woman.
Yeah.
Trying to protect her baby and also trying to protect her man. Because a lot of times it was that woman who had to jump in front of the man, or he had to die behind the skirt, not knowing it would be better for you to die as a black man than to jump behind her skirt and have her to go before the slave master and have to lift up her skirt to save your life.
Well,
death would be better for you.
Well, brother, I'm gonna say this about that situation. I'm sure on both ends, we all did what we thought was the best thing to survive that situation. Just like the black man, he always had to act like he didn't give a goddamn, because if he act like he cared, then the master would, find the person he care about and rip him apart. So he got to always act like so even to today, he feel like he got to act like he don't care, because he feel like, he gonna lose something if he act like he care. So, I mean, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming from slavery. Slavery that's a bag that, like you said last time, that's gonna take another couple 100 years just to unpack that. Meantime, we got these issues we got this stuff on the skillet now. Right. Now, how do we get this stuff off the skillet now? Like, for example, we got all these women. See, I believe this. I believe if we had more women going into looking for relationships with a more realistic perspective, I think they would I think we'll be more happier people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like people would last longer, and they would go and if they got the training before they got, like they in the black church, they used to have what they call marriage counseling, right?
Right.
Okay, y'all gonna get married? Okay, y'all got to go to counseling first, right? We got to go to counseling, and y'all got to show us in counseling that y'all ready, and if y'all ready, then we'll perform the ceremony for you, right?
Right.
Okay, that's pretty much not happening as much today. Well, we said before, it's a function of the black church being on its deathbed, and I don't know what they're gonna do about that, but but it's that was one thing that was trying to help our relationships last. Now, like you said, with the Kardashians out there, because I'm on Instagram, I can marry. I can. Who can resist me? I can get whoever I want to get, so it's no problem.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, you're not realizing the reality is, guys at a certain age are not just looking for your looks anymore. They're looking for other stuff to go with those looks, and what value are you bringing? Now, one misconception that I believe that a lot of women have is that their income, they think that we think like them. Like, to a woman, your income is a plus.
Yes.
That's a plus. That's a positive.
Yes.
That is something that
Yes.
adds value to your mystique or your
Yes.
situation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But a woman, your income does not add value to a real man. That don't add no value to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is, there's dudes that got their own agenda. That, yeah, your income is gonna matter to them. It's gonna make a big difference to them. But real men are not looking at it like that. A real man is gonna say, I got my own money. I was made before you. So your money is just, and you don't want me to, you're gonna need to take care of your children with that anyway.
Right.
I already got my own. I'm already was set up. I was a god before I met you, so I don't need your money to make me a god. So women don't understand that a lot of times. I don't think, in my opinion, it's my impression, they don't understand that based on listening to them talk. That they feel like, and then it's just the fact that they feel like, man, because they want it to be that way. I want it to be this way. It's got to be that way. Like, I want it to be. I want it to be that. I'm. You men think I look this cute. I want it to be that when men want me to be in a relationship, yeah, men gonna want you. They want you sexually, but they're not looking to be in relationships, and that's two different things. They don't understand. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's my interpretation of it. The two different values. That's my scientific interpretation of it. That there's two values, and that they misunderstand the relationship with those values, and then the how to apply them to different men. Like, you can apply these values to a younger man. He's not going to be looking towards the long-term relationship value. He's not going to really care about that. But an older man, I would say 30 plus, that value is going to be more significant as he gets older.
Right.
That makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
What you say? What you say?
Well, I mean, again, as an older man, you mature, and your values not only change, but they increase. Because men go from the outside in. A woman goes from the inside out. And if it's going to work, and if it's real love, and if it's like your soulmate, like the Quran says, if it's your soulmate, after so many years, you're going to meet in the middle. Right. While you're coming from the outside in, if you're coming from the inside out, you'll meet and realize that this can work, and it's real, and it's real love. Right. It really is real. That's the only way you're going to make it anyway. Even if it's not real, and even if it's not really your soulmate, you still can make it. But there has to be a lot of respect, and both parties have to know their roles. And to me, that's another huge issue. As to why like you said, why are so many women unmarried? Yeah. And why don't you have a man? Like I said, I just want to address that. I talk to them more. I talk to them. They tell me I don't even want to be married. Or I don't even not married, but I don't need no man. That's a big headache. I'm hearing this more and more. And I'm like, he's a headache? You'd rather go without a man? Yeah. In the struggle, you'd rather go without? Yeah. Is it me? I mean, yeah. I don't understand. Well, I don't even want to get into but I sisters. I mean, there has to be a re-education,
Yeah.
But us too, meaning men. I
Yeah.
mean, especially black men, you're so devalued. You're so misunderstood. You know, the black man, the whole world is trying to kill you. The whole world.
Yeah.
You're so undesirable. But it's not that you're undesirable uh, uh, for your sake, meaning the black man. The world tries to make the man undesirable.
Right.
But I think the more you try to make him undesirable, the more he's desired, if you ask me.
Right.
You know, because that's normally how it works. You know the law in the universe, or the law for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Well, the whole world is trying to just kill the black man off, and the more you try, the more he grows. You know, but to me that's God, and that's a whole nother story. But getting back to women and why you don't have to be alone, because it's the woman who does the choosing.
Yeah,
you know, you don't have to be by yourself.
Let's unpack that, because I think that the woman does the choosing at a certain point. I think that in my opinion, the women does the choosing at a certain point, but at a certain point, the men do the choosing. So, break it down, Brother Jarvis. What you mean by the women does the choosing?
Nothing goes down until she says yes.
Correct.
You can like her all you want. You can desire her all you want. You can be wanting her, pine after her. You can chase her. You can do whatever you want. But until she says yes, nothing's going down.
Correct.
All things being equal.
Correct.
So she does the choosing. The man is always going to be the pursuer. You know, but it's up to her as to which one of y'all do I want. So she does the choosing. She's getting hit on every day.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I would like to suggest a alternative to doing the chasing women, because you're right. For the most part, men chase the women. Men are the pursuers. But I would suggest that if you get certain aspects of your life together, you won't have to chase women. Women will chase you. That's my interpretation of that. Now, I agree with you. You know, and even if they choose you, even if they're pursuing you, ain't nothing gonna happen until they decide it's going down.
Right.
Well, at least like nothing should go down until they decide it's going down. But,
all things being equal.
But it should be, I'm just saying that there's alternatives, because I don't want these young brothers, because there's young brothers that's listening to us. I don't want them to get trapped in the belief that, okay, well, you know, if I need to be chasing a woman, that's where I need to be spending most of my time. I don't want them to get that misunderstanding. I want them to be on track to try to make their life the best possible life they can make it, and a person that can bring value to it, that has a vagina, will show up at some point, right?
Oh, I guarantee that. It's something about money. You don't have to pursue no woman. If you making money, she'll pursue you. I don't know what it is about women and money, but they smell when you got some money.
Right. And so if you just work on, certain aspects of your life, like your financial security, your financial stability, your spirituality, your ability to be in a relationship and be a solid person, be a solid dude, I think women will find you. Women will find you. You won't have to really, be chasing after women. So I'm just saying, yes, you can pursue women. That's one strategy. But another strategy is and to me it's a better one, is to get your life in order. Once your life is in order, women will pursue you. Now, let's answer this question, because we always trying to find solutions to the problem, because this is a major problem. There's so many. See, when we were talking about last week, we talked about how a lot of black men are, well, typically the black men that are doing a little better financially are not interested in are avoiding dating black women. Not all of them, but I mean a portion of them are not just completely scratching black men off their list of dating, right? I mean black women off their list of dating. So uh so it's just a complication of things. So now you got extra black women on the market, but like we were talking about last week, there's so many white women on the market now that are turning towards the brotherhood, because the brotherhood is more forgiving. We were talking about how white men, white men got a standard. You don't meet the standard, out to the pasture you go, right? So they don't want to be standing around out there in the pasture. So they say, hey, let me go across the street to the brotherhood. So that's the influx of them. And then, like you said, the Kardashians have showed it's a lot of fun dating all these different black dudes. Woohoo, woohoo, whoopee, 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 whoopee. And so it's like, I won't say the style, but the trend, you know what I mean? And it's becoming more mainstream of a thing. You know what I mean? So black women have all that to deal with. Plus, on top of that, they have to deal with the extra women. I don't care, probably pretty much from every race. Once they get a certain age, the men have such a line in those races that they feel like, if they come over to the brotherhood is much more forgiving. You know what I mean? The brother, if she got some kind of value, the brotherhood will be more forgiving for her age and her extra children, and so on and so forth. The little dings she got to her sexual market value, the brotherhood will be more forgiving to that. So that means it's just like a bigger pool of women, but they're not at the higher level, higher standard of women, which, and so you got 80% of the men are trying to date 10% of the women. And 80%, 90% of the women are trying to date 5% of the men. So all these people out here just are left out here, right? So pretty much the Dirty Dan dudes, they can hop from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl. It's no problem. So the question, this is why some women end up, especially the sisterhood, some of them end up unmarried and lonely, because they misunderstand. All of these things are going on at the same time. All these things are in play. Plus, they stay on. They play the musical chairs too long. Oh well, I'm just gonna date this dude. I'm just date this dude. I'm just and so the average woman in her 20s has what I would consider called a list, right? They got a list. So they got maybe 3 or 4 guys that's on paper, right? 3 or 4 people that are, mama knows about this person, my cousin knows about that person, my sister knows about that person. And, so they got about 3 or 4 people on this list that people know about, right? Then there's about 2 or 3 dudes that are off the books. 2 or 3 dudes that are off the books, right? Just in case, lonely night, something didn't go right with somebody. What you call it? What is that kind of brother? With somebody you call in to make sure everything's gonna go right. You know what I mean? Like, the first mechanic didn't fix everything, but you call this dude in, he's gonna come in and fix everything. He's gonna make sure everything, the oil's changed, everything, right? Well, there's a couple of guys like that. Then there's a couple guys orbiting. They're in the wings, right? They're in the wings, kind of
Waiting an opportunity.
They're waiting on an opportunity, and she's waiting on them to say the right thing that make them think that they're going to get somewhere. So what I'm saying is they got this all going on, right? 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, now 26. Now cats are getting tired of playing games. They start going other places. So now people start falling off. 27, 28, I'll find somebody. 29, 30. Now the clock is like, it was like, now the clock is like, tick, tick, boom, 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 right? Then you're getting 32, 33. Ouch, right? Now they're looking for somebody to actually step in there. Now it's like we're getting down to crunch time, right? Because they know inside of them, they know they gotta make a move before all the wheels come off, right? They gotta make a move. You know what I mean? Plus, they understand that they're competing with new models coming off the assembly line, and they understand the situation at this point, and that's why they start trying to make a move. Now, my question to you is, what can be done since they have such a large misunderstanding of all of this stuff? What can be done to make them be in a better place to have relationships that last long and are more fulfilling?
I mean, again, a re-education, a whole retraining. She has to change. Now, I will argue with you, disagree with you. One thing about the black woman, she don't lose it in her 30s. She don't. She's not like her counterpart, that white woman. She's not like anybody else on this planet. I have to give her props. As she gets older, everybody falls off, quote unquote.
Of course.
But she don't fall off so hard.
Not
if she
right
just
away.
Tries to clean herself up,
yeah,
she can still pull. Because the reason why, to me, she's kind of spoiled. Because she can get older, and if she just try and keep herself in shape, she'll start to pull older and younger. Both. She'll pull both sides.
Well, she'll always pull younger cats. She'll always pull younger cats. She'll always pull the younger cats.
Yeah, she is the mold on the planet. There's nobody that looks like her. There's nobody that's shaped like her. There's nobody that has that kind of, nobody walks, talks. There's nobody like her.
Yeah.
So the reason why she has the attitude that she has, because she got it. The cool part is she knows she got it.
Well, how come she? How come she got cobwebs between her legs? Then, man?
She ain't got no cobwebs. It ain't that she got cobwebs.
Well, no, you know what I mean. How come she not having long-term relationships?
Because it's the Kardashian syndrome. She really believes, because she wants a black man, but he's not qualified to her. She wants him, but it's like, he ain't doing nothing. Yeah, so where do I go?
No, at a certain point, they start getting after the brotherhood. At a certain point, they start coming at you. And so, but they can't seem to pick a man that, or like we said, their desires are not in line with what they're bringing to the table to attract this person. In other words, they don't have an understanding of what the person they're looking for is attracted to and how to apply these values to how they would apply those values to trying to date someone. Because it's obviously they got it. I mean, we're not talking about their looks. We're talking about just them not being able to attract dudes that want to be in long-term relationships. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, see, another thing with her, too, is she want to do it up under her terms.
Correct.
I mean, there are so many, I don't want to say so many, but there's some women that I've talked to, and it's like, what is it with this attitude with sister? I mean, what is it? You got to tell yourself that. What? You got to tell yourself you fat and you fine. They say this to each other. I'm fat and I'm fine. You want me? They say this to themselves.
Right.
You're not going to even try to get in shape? You're not going to bring me something? Take me as I am.
Yeah.
What? You won't take me as I am. If I'm broke, you want
that? That's different. That's different.
You're going to sit up there and convince yourself you fat and you fine. And you tell yourself that. Brother, I'm serious. They tell themselves that.
I hear you, man. I hear you, man. I see it. I see it a lot. Yes, sir. But
and expect me to accept you. You ain't giving me nothing to work with.
No.
And they get mad at me. Oh, you want to just hang around them little young girls? Yes.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's a start. That's a start.
And I'm not just talking about fat. You ain't got to be fat. Your attitude effed up.
Yeah.
You ain't bringing me nothing.
Yeah.
You really expect me to go along with your game plan. I'm telling you, I'm the head. You gonna do what I want you to do. No. I'm the head.
Right.
You know, we gonna do what I want to. Wait a minute.
Right.
I'm the head.
Yeah, right.
That's the old male chauvinistic stuff.
Yeah, right.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're giving me nothing. Your attitude jacked up. You out of shape.
Yeah.
You really don't take care of yourself like you should as you got older.
Yeah.
And you single.
Yeah.
And expect me to just take you for what you know, you need to love all of this.
Yeah. I believe the term they use is leveling up.
I don't know that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, leveling up. I mean, that's when somebody like you describing that's out of shape or, you know, just in a bad way, spiritually and emotionally, some kind of way tricks a person who has a better personality and better everything on a better level, to in some kind of way ensnaring them into a relationship with them. And I think that's what they mean by leveling up. I could be wrong, but that's what I mean when they say leveling up. But I don't see it where the person that's doing the leveling up levels themselves up, meaning that you improve yourself and put yourself at another. And some things you can improve, and some things you can't. Can't improve on having children from somebody else, but you can improve on your attitude, which will offset that. You can improve on, like you said, valuing this man, because all they really want is to be valued. If you show a man that he got high value in your life, maybe he ain't no $1 million person, but like we talked about last time, see, there was a point, Brother Jarvis, in the black household, I would say in the 40s and 50s, man didn't make all that much money, but he still got the big piece of chicken every day. He still was the man.
Yeah.
He was the man. Even if all the children had to get jobs and help put money into the pot, this dude was the man.
Yeah.
He was the man. But we kind of see, that's what I'm saying, we kind of got away from that. And I believe you're right. It's not so much the Kardashians, but just TV itself showed black women how to devalue the black man devalue him. And then, so, when you devalue the black man, how are you going to be in a meaningful relationship with a man that has no value? He's not going to want to be in a relationship with somebody like that. Eventually, he's going to want to just go be somewhere where he's getting value. That's why there's so many, what's the word, affairs, or people cheating on each other because they're not valued. They don't feel like they're getting valued. And I feel like these sisters here, they don't understand how to value men, and then they don't understand how to put themselves in a correct lane to achieve what they're trying to achieve, which is they want a good relationship with a good man, but you got to be good too. You got to be bringing value to this man's life. But I don't think they understand that they need to be bringing value to this man's life other than, a big booty and a smile. You got to be bringing more to that, especially as a man is entering his 30s, his mid-30s and up. You're going to find it hard to secure somebody just off of a big button smile, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
No. You definitely cut me off. But like I said, again, I mean, I don't even argue when I hear, you got to tell yourself that. You have to tell yourself you fat and you fine. You have to tell yourself that.
You got to. Who else going to say it? It?
They said, well, how do you think we feel as women? We're looking at all these videos. We're looking at television. I'm talking about the black woman.
Yeah.
And even if you do put us on television, it's always the light skin stuff. You know
what that reminds me of, brother? I'm sorry, but say this one. Let me say this one real quick. You know what that reminds me of? I'm fat and I'm fine. That reminds me of a homeless cat on the street saying, "I'm rich. I'm rich. I got money." I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that when they tell me that. I'm like, wow. I say, what do you? Well, who else gonna tell us? Y'all ain't telling you, damn, y'all don't even want us.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, and that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
I have to admit, some brothers, and it's the younger brothers who I've come to find out the little study that I've done, the very little study I've done, in my age group, or I should say in my circle. It's not like that. But when I begin to look out, look at younger men and listen to them, what they're saying, right. I don't even like dark skinned sisters. What? Brothers are saying
it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. The quote unquote, the term that the sister gave it, the quote unquote, what she called the designer baby. In other words, I got to get with some girl who's half white or half whatever, half Puerto Rican or half Mexican or Mexican to get me a pretty, quote unquote, pretty baby. I said, brothers don't think like that.
Yeah.
I've been proven wrong.
Yeah, a lot of
the younger brothers. The younger brother, no, in my circle, they don't. In my age group, pretty much, they don't.
Well, like I said, they in our age group, they're considering much more than just that. But in the younger age group, they don't consider the other stuff like that. The aesthetics, that's pretty much what they looking into. How fine she is, right. How exotic she might look, and that's it.
I don't even know what that word means anymore.
What's
Black
that?
woman is exotic.
No, man, when I say exotic, I mean they want somebody that's mixed with this or mixed with that or got light-skinned. Like I remember I heard a rapper was saying, this rapper one time was saying, I would never be with no dark-skinned girl because I'm dark-skinned and I want a pretty baby. Now, where did he get that from?
Where the hell did he get that from?
Right.
That's another whole different subject. Where the hell did you get? Who taught you that?
Exactly. Where did you get that from?
I know who didn't teach you that.
Right. But how did you come across that understanding? I mean, it was, you know what I mean? So how the point that he felt like, hey, now I can understand when you're young, you don't think, your brain is not all the way developed. You're not thinking clearly, right? He brother obviously is not thinking clearly, because if that's all you need to be with you is that they have an exotic look, you're just gonna have a lot of problems, right? Yeah. And eventually them women that you think that are so fine or whatever, I seen this girl. I was working with this girl one time. Man. This girl was, she was light skinned, but she was all right. She wasn't not, I seen beautiful dark skinned girls. I seen beautiful dark skinned girls, and I seen beautiful light skinned girls. This girl wasn't no beauty. I mean, she was, but her claim to fame, she was light. Man, she used to just dog this dude that was interested. He was just so stuck on her. And the rest of us that was working with her, we could not figure it out until it finally hit me. This dude is her being light skinned. That's the whole thing. She could call him up, man. He could be wiping his mama's backside, brother. He would say, "Hey, I'm hungry. I need something to eat." And he had to drop what he's doing and run on, and then she could say, "Hey, and bring some for the rest of my crew too." Man, we was like, we were one time we was eating this big old thing. We thought she had treated everybody. Nah, Paul did. We like, what? Man, give this man some money. Don't have him thinking we down with the program. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm saying he was so stuck on her being light skinned, right, that he couldn't make he just couldn't make a good decision about he wasn't able to make a sound decision and say to himself, I'm getting played. This is not for me. If you want to do this to somebody, go on and do it to somebody, but not me.
Right.
And
I want to, not to interrupt, I really want to throw in there, I really want to interject that, when you hear this rapper say, quote unquote, I would never be with a dark-skinned woman because I'm dark-skinned. Let me tell you something about the black man and woman that you obviously don't know of. He and she are the original.
Right.
Everything comes from the original. So you can put a light skin and a dark skin together, and the baby still might come out light skin. You can put two dark skinned people together. Let me tell you something, Brother Clarence. That baby still might come out light skin.
Yeah.
See, there's something about you give up 23 chromosomes, and she gives up 23 chromosomes. And in all those chromosomes, sometimes that baby will go back. It skip over 2 generations and pick something out of that generation and bring it forth. And you're like, how the hell did this baby come out with straight hair?
Yeah. And
you got 2 dark-skinned people with coarse hair, and this baby came out with straight hair, and you wonder, did you cheat on me? No.
Yeah.
No. Why? How did that baby do that? No, you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't even know who you are, meaning the black man and woman. No, you did that.
Yeah.
Because you can produce anything.
Yeah.
See, we don't know. We don't know. So again, that's a whole nother story. But like trying to get back to the question, I don't know what to tell. I mean, sisters, it's up to her.
But Brother Jarvis, Jarvis, I know, but give me something to get the eggs out the skillet today. What can we do to start to get the eggs out the skillet today?
Man,
I know it's going to take a whole revolution of learning and all that. I know that.
Yeah, what do you want me to tell her? I mean, I want
you to tell her something. Tell her something.
She coming at me. She coming at me like she ain't even lonely. You say you put on the question on there. Why is she not married and lonely? Yeah. Talk to her. She ain't lonely. At any time she can get on that phone and call somebody. She ain't lonely.
Well, you're right. She ain't lonely. But when I say lonely, I mean as she get up in years. See, as she get up in age, the caliber of men are going to dwindle down. Is that agreed? The caliber of men. I mean, kind of man you getting at 20 when you got a big butt and a smile, and like they say, the sun don't set on you because you just that awesome. Right. Okay, difference gonna be a difference when you 37, and now you got you know what I mean. You got to compete with the players in the field already. You got white women coming into the fray, Latino sisters coming into the play, Asian sisters coming into the play. You got all these different people trying to take a run at the original man, because the original man, heart like God, I forgive you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgive you
Me
that
too.
you at this point. I forgive that. I'm willing to forgive that. If you willing to submit, I'm willing to forgive.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody ain't like that. The white boys ain't like that. Latinos ain't like that. And sometimes the Asians ain't like that either. They strict.
You're right.
If you can't help the community, out you go.
Or if you feel that, and it's another subject, but we ain't gonna even get into. And I don't understand it because I didn't grow up in California, but in California there are blacks and Mexicans. And
Right.
the way I was taught, same. We the same.
Right.
But I've heard of if that Latino woman date a black man,
Uh-huh.
her whole family cut her off. And like, huh?
Well, you know what?
But
It was. I'm gonna throw this out there because I did grow up in California. It is an unspoken line. It was just an unspoken line that you didn't cross, and you saw it every now and then. It's not a in today's world, it's much more acceptable. I'm talking about back in the 70s and 80s. We were all together. We played together. We went over each other's houses. You know, I had Mexican friends, Filipino friends. I mean, black friends, white friends. We played with each other. We played football, basketball. We did all Samoan friends. I mean, we did a lot together. But you did not cross that line. You just knew not to cross that line. You knew. And so nowadays it's much more acceptable, you know, seeing us together. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. I just want to throw that out there.
No problem. So I don't have, like I said, what to tell her.
Yeah, man. What can she do right now? Let me give you the scenario. This sister is tired of dating dudes that's not making no money. It's always trying to get to, you know, they just want to. She tried to being on the merry-go-round here. You know what I mean? She been on the merry-go-round. She rode the merry-go-round just a little too long, and now she's looking for a serious situation because she would like to be a wife, would like to be, you know, she would like to be in a relationship because that's what her heart yearns for. She want to be in a relationship, but she can't seem to find one. She can't seem to find one, and everyone when she try to go after these six-figure dudes, she can't seem to make that happen. So,
right.
What are you going to tell her? In other words, are you going to say, hey, are you being, because I'm going to just be an example, because are you going to say, hey, you know, you need to look at yourself and see, you know, take a reflection of yourself and be honest with yourself and see if are you what, first of all, you need to understand what the person you looking for is looking for, right?
Right.
I mean, if I'm looking for, if I'm going to the pond and I'm trying to catch tuna, I got to use bait that tuna like. I can't use bait that carp like, right? I can't use bait that bass like. I got to use bait that tuna like. So I need to know what kind of bait that tuna like, so I can go make sure I got that bait on hand. So when I put that hook in the water, it's gonna be attracting tuna. That makes sense, right?
All sense in the world.
Okay. Now I'm asking you. That's just an example. I'm asking you, what would you tell a sister? Sister come up to you crying. I mean, you and I have had this conversation with sisters before, but now they're coming up to you crying, saying, I don't know what to do. Every time I try to find a man, you know. I mean, most sisters ain't gonna do that because they just tough, or they feel like they gotta act tough. But let's say one just broke down and said, I'm really interested in being in a long-term relationship with a good dude. What do I do?
You have to change. You have to lower your standards and change. What are you looking for?
What do you mean lower my
now,
standards?
I tell them, like, what am I going to lower? You're not this six-figure cat that you think you want. may not be good for you.
Wait a minute, what you mean?
What?
Wait a minute, what you mean he ain't good for me? What you mean he ain't good for me?
That's it. This headache that you're talking about, evidently you don't know what you're doing. Because you keep going after the six-figure cat that's giving you a headache. That's your problem. See, God don't give you what you want. God give you what you need. That's your problem.
True indeed. True indeed.
And as you get older, I've heard Minister Farrakhan say, as you get older and you walk with God, Brother Clarence,
yes, sir.
God will start to pick your friends for you. Yeah. He really does that. He takes certain people out your life and puts certain people in. Yeah. He doesn't. He doing that. You're like, what is going on in here? Yeah. And you wondering what's going on. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah. That's God doing. Yeah. So what you want really ain't what you need. Yeah. And that's your problem. Yeah. And go to him. And it's just to go to God. Because what you looking for ain't good for you. That's why you got a headache.
Yeah, I went to God. And God told me to be with this man, and he ended up cheating on me. He ended up cheating on me, and he got two babies from another woman while we was married. And
that wasn't God.
God told me to get with this man.
That wasn't God. That was Kim Kardashian. You took Kim Kardashian for God. That's your problem.
Ooh, that's heavy, Brother Jarvis. That's heavy. That's heavy. You mean to say that instead of God's voice, they listen to Kim Kardashian's voice?
Yeah, that's your problem. Oh. You're taking everything else for God.
Oh. Then they get mad at God, saying it's God's fault.
You told me. If you shut up and just listen, he's going to tell you, I didn't tell you that.
I didn't tell you that. I don't know where you got that from.
No, you know where you got it from. But see, the thing is, you have freedom. You're not like the animals. Yeah. You just don't go off of instinct. You have freedom of will.
Right.
And you can choose not to listen to God. You can choose that. The only bad part about that is the voice of God never stops. Yeah. It never stops. Even when you quiet it, after a while, it comes back. Yeah. Yeah. So what you want me to tell her? Be quiet. Pray. Listen to God. What you think you want ain't good for you.
How's she going to know it's God then?
You'll know. You'll know. I've heard Minister Farrakhan say, a woman will hear God before a man will. That's the reason why you can hear that baby in the middle of the night and he can't, because you're more sensitive than him.
Yeah, that's true.
You pop right out the bed. Like I heard the minister say, you pop and go right to that baby. He ain't heard nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
He's sound asleep, but you heard that baby. And that baby made a whimper, and you heard that baby. So just like you hear that baby, you're hearing. You're hearing.
I hope so,
brother.
You
were made to hear. You were made to hear him. You're made that way. The woman, you're more sensitive than him. When God talks, the woman will always hear God first.
Well, I hope.
Sometimes it's a whisper. Sometimes it's a whisper.
Well, she must not be listening, brother, because, like I said, I think it's a lot of women out here, and they hitting the curb because they're just not able to.
Because you're watching that TV. Yeah, yes. You're right. Because you're taking something else for God.
Yes.
That's your problem. So that's what I got to tell her.
I would agree
you're
with
taking
that.
Everything for God. Everything.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. So,
I don't want to struggle. I don't want to headache. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Look at his car. He got a Honda.
Now, that's what they're gonna tell you. I don't want to settle. See, if I'm not going out, if I'm not reaching up for a six-figure income dude, I'm settling, and I don't want to settle. I don't want to settle. So that's the question. How do you handle that? What do you tell her when she say, I don't want to settle?
I just told her. Now you gonna tell God he don't know what he doing? You don't want to settle. Yeah. You didn't ask him to send me a man. He sent you one. He ain't all what I thought he should be. Yeah. Well, tell him that.
Yeah. Well, you know, people make mistakes before and they don't think that, oh, I asked God for this, but I got this. This ain't God. Because I asked God for this. And God didn't send me this. So he sent me this dude here. Right? You know what I mean? Like the old saying, you know, hey, I need a boat to go across the river. And they say, oh, I pray to God and ask for God to come bring a boat because I don't see no boatsmen, right? So instead of a big, nice boat, here come a dude with a rickety, a rickety little rowboat, right? She go, oh, no, I didn't ask for that. I asked for a boat. No, go ahead on. Send the man away. Another man comes, same thing, rickety little boat. She say, hey, you know, he say, I'm here to give you a lift across the. No. I'll ask God for this. I'm gonna stay here until God answers this prayer. Right? Last man come. Hey, I came. Same thing with the old rickety boat. Hey, I'm the last man. This is the final call. I'm the last man. Ain't nobody else coming because it's gonna be snowed out. Everything's gonna be. You're gonna be able to travel. She say, you know what? God will sustain me. She get killed. She die in the freeze, in the frost. She go to heaven. Ask God, how come you didn't send nobody? You didn't send me the boat. He said, who you think sent the 3 men? Who you think sent them guys out there? But I wanted a boat. But you didn't need a boat. You needed them. You needed those guys. Those guys were who you needed. You didn't need no big old boat. The boat I sent you had a hole in it. So I sent them 3 dudes instead. But she didn't see it, right? But my point is, they are not realizing, like you said, God's sending this person to you for you to, take a look at and examine. But because you figure, hey, this dude ain't got all the bells and whistles I want on him, God didn't send him. I believe that's your point.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Okay. Well, me and you, brother, we always trying to find solutions to the problem. So that's one solution is to go. You said, look, talk to God and ask God, to help you in this matter, in this endeavor, and look to His the resources that He sends your way. It might not be packaged the way you want it to be packaged, but you.
No, it won't be.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee it won't. One thing about God, He got a sense of humor. If you ask me, it ain't gonna be what you think.
Yeah,
and sometimes what you take for a mistake really isn't a mistake. Well, God sent me this man, and now we ain't together no more. Yeah, because God is doing something.
Yeah,
that wasn't the end result. Yeah, but you produced a child in that. Yeah. But you don't know what God got in stack for that child or that child. See, God don't tell you nothing.
Yeah.
So God didn't send you that. Well, it didn't work. It didn't work for you. So you think.
Right.
But He's doing something.
Right.
But it's something He wanted to pull out of you and something He needed out of Him. And He put y'all together.
Yeah.
And then He broke y'all up.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
Yeah.
He did that.
Yeah.
He put us together and He broke it. Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's what He do.
Yes, sir. Y'all gonna go about y'all business, but I'm working on this baby. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at Mary and Joseph.
Yeah.
Now they met when they was 4 and 5. They knew they were soulmates at that age when they met. 4 and 5. Joseph went to her daddy. Her daddy never approved of that boy. That boy never but a carpenter.
Right.
He ain't making no money. Right. He ain't making no money. That boy never. He went and got married to somebody else.
Right.
And then in his marriage, after he had children with his wife,
right,
he slept with Mary and produced Jesus.
Wow. Wow.
And that daddy never approved of that boy. Never liked him. That boy never a carpenter. He ain't making no money.
Right.
But God put them together anyway.
Yes, sir.
We don't know what God is doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll put y'all together and break y'all up. He wouldn't do that. You'd be surprised at stuff God do.
Yeah.
When you really, really study God, really get to know him, like, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
After a while in your prayers, you be sounding like me in my prayers. Oh God, I don't know what you doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's we sidebar the prayers here, but I think once you get to know God and see how he move, you understand that just because you pray for something don't mean it's gonna come wrapped in a cellophane wrapper, and you know what I mean. It's gonna be
Right.
problem free, and you gonna
Right.
be, you ain't gonna have no challenges with
Right.
the thing that you prayed for to have.
Right. Right.
It's gonna be some challenges in there because that's just the way God operate. There's always some challenges somewhere. It ain't gonna be no, oh, can I have a steak? And then the steak plop down on your plate. No. It's going to be some challenges somewhere in there. You're going to have to get the money together and get a steak and get the, you know what I mean? It's going to be some challenges.
Or go out there with a knife and cut that cow's throat.
And,
you want a steak?
You'll do something, right? You know what I mean?
You want a steak? You got to go out there and kill that cow out there. What? I got to get all nasty and yeah.
Yeah.
You say you want a steak?
You said you wanted a steak here. There's a cow out
Here's
there.
a knife.
There's a cow out there in the front yard. I didn't say that was a cow. It was a steak. Yeah, well, there's a knife.
Well, my baby said that's her pet. It won't be after the night.
Yeah, there's a knife right there on the table. You know what I mean? See how bad you want them steaks? All right, brother. Let me wrap this up. So
yes, sir.
So we said that you need to get closer to God, and you need to you were saying you need to get closer to God and explore that, and try to get some spiritual understanding of what you're looking for, and try to get rooted in that so that you won't you'll be able to make better decisions. I agree with that. Now I'm offering my solution. My solutions is that a better understanding of sexual market value, meaning that you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be able to say, it's not about what you look like all fixed up. It's what you look like not all fixed up when it comes to men over the age, I would say, of 35. That is going to play an important part. So sexual market value, if you're just trying to get guys and let them bag you, hey, man, you can go ahead and do that forever. But when you're trying to get into relationships, long-term relationships take sacrifice. You're going to have to fight. You have to have a fighting spirit, because sometimes one person is going to want the thing to continue and the other person ain't, and you're going to have to reel the other person back in, or you're going to have to reestablish values, the value of the relationship to everybody. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work. Then after you take a look at your sexual market value and be honest with yourself, don't call yourself a 9 and you a 2. Come on, you got to be honest with yourself. You need to learn to what long-term relationship value is to a man. Men are interested in long-term relationship value as they get older. That means a lot more. So what is long-term relationship value? That's the other things outside of your looks. So your attitude, your femininity, child nurturing, childbearing. Do you complement my personality? And do you know when to stand down? Do you know when to take your boss hat off and put your kitten hat on? See, because I don't care how deranged any man is, there ain't nothing like a woman that knows how to purr. When that woman start purring, she'll break them down like an old card table. Boom,
Right.
boom, 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 boom.
Right.
But these women today don't understand that, because they think they got to be tougher, and then it's a competition. They're competing with the men, and they saying, okay, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. And then a lot of times they feel like they got something to prove.
Right.
And that's another topic is cowboys out there. out there with a cowboy that's got to prove something. Hey, I got 2 degrees from Harvard and Stanford, and I know, and I had the business doing that, and I had a business doing this. He said, they talked to this chick like, man, I just was looking in between your breasts. That's what I was looking at.
I don't care how much money you make. If you work at McDonald's, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care what you doing.
Right. Right. So I'm saying we gotta be honest with ourselves. See, I think that what you said it right a lot of times, you know, like a lot of these women, they just lie. They lie to themselves so much, man. They believe it. It's like, you know, it's like there was a story, man, back in the day. I forgot who the author of it was. It's called The Emperor Has No Clothes. Are you familiar with that story?
Yes, sir.
You familiar with that story? Okay.
Yes, sir. Oh,
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna just lay it out for people that may not be familiar with the story. So in the story, there's an emperor that has been given a set of clothes that's invisible, but in reality, it was just a trick. But they were told that only people that were evil people couldn't see the clothes. So when everybody was telling him how magnificent his clothes was, but actually the man was naked, right? Till one child saw him and hadn't drank the Kool-Aid yet and said, oh, the emperor is naked. Everybody kind of realized that they had gotten played. See, but it goes to show you, it's like, if enough people suggest something called mass hypnosis, if enough people suggest something that and enough people will believe it, then enough people will bring it into existence. They will move enough mental energy enough to pass it on to other people. So that's what happened in that story. Everybody just kind of went with the program until finally somebody who hadn't got the message yet finally said something. Well, I'm saying the same thing about a lot of these sisters. They keep telling themselves, I look good, I look good, I look good. When their results say something's wrong. But instead of taking a self-assessment, they say, oh, it's the brotherhood. Y'all don't want a strong woman. You know, one of the videos we did, brother, one of the podcasts we did, they had a sister hit me up and said, black men don't like strong black women. That's the situation, what's going on. So that's why black women are not, and black men are not dating. And it's the exact opposite. Black men don't like weak black women because you're too weak to know when to stand down and step off. But anyway, like I said, sexual market value is a misunderstanding between sexual market value and long-term relationship value. Those two values and how to apply them to a man that's actually at an age where he's looking to integrate all of that together so that he can have the best experience. And number 3, you need to see, if you're looking for a man, like I said before, if you're looking for a man that's a 6-figure earner, you need to be finding out what type of things, what is that kind of man looking for in a woman. Just because you want them, desire alone is not the answer. Because you desire that somebody like that wants to be with you, doesn't mean it's going to happen. If you want that to happen, you need to figure out what they looking for and where you fit in and how you can get in to that lane. Then you have a better chance of bagging somebody like that. But if you're not, how are you going to bag somebody like that and you are totally off the chart? You're not even in this person's wheelhouse of thinking because you're not set up to be with somebody like that. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that, we need to get more honest with ourselves, especially the sisterhood, get honest with what they actually want in a relationship and what they actually willing to do and what they actually willing to give, and what their real, what their real sexual market value is, what their real long-term relationship value is. And if you're looking for men that's earning six figures, find out what they're looking for in a woman and be that, or try to be that as best as you can. And then just improve on yourself as a person. I think that's what all I got. You got anything else closing, Brother Jarvis?
No, sir. That sounds like more than enough, big brother.
All right, this is the Let's Talk podcast. And like as always, we trying to help. We're not trying to bash anybody. We're just trying to help. If you feel like we can help you, you can hit us up. And if not, we just gonna keep on pressing on. And with some of these issues that are plaguing the community. So until we talk to you again, peace.